So to begin with, let's talk about what JavaScript actually is and what jQuery actually is. JavaScript is an object-oriented programming language commonly used to create interactive effects within a browser. JavaScript is the most popular programming language in the world. It is a language for HTML, for the web, for computers, servers, laptops, tablets, smartphones, and more. jQuery is a cross-platform JavaScript library designed to simplify the client-side scripting of HTML. jQuery is a lightweight, write less, do more JavaScript library. The purpose of jQuery is to make it much easier to use JavaScript on your website. jQuery takes a lot of common tasks that require many lines of JavaScript code to accomplish and wrap them into methods that you can call with a single line of code. jQuery also simplifies a lot of the complicated things from JavaScript, like AJAX calls and DOM manipulation. The jQuery library contains the following features: HTML and DOM manipulation, CSS manipulation, HTML event methods, effects and animations, AJAX, utilities, and more. In addition, jQuery has plugins for almost any task that you might want to do out there. In this course, we're going to be learning both. jQuery is essentially JavaScript. It's just a different way to use it. We'll start off by learning some basics about JavaScript and writing some very simple scripts, and then we'll learn how we can harness the power of jQuery to make more robust and complex scripts and interactivities within our web pages. In general, JavaScript makes web pages more interactive. It allows you to make your web pages more interactive by accessing and modifying the content and markup used in a web page while it is being used in the browser. You can do things like access content. So you can use JavaScript to select any element, attribute, or text from an HTML page. For example, you can select the text inside of all of the H1 elements on a page. Or you could select any element with a value of a specific class name. Or you can find out what was entered into a text input whose ID attribute has a value of, let's say, email. You can also modify content. You can add or remove elements, attributes, and text to a page. So, for example, you could add a paragraph of text after the first H1 element on your page. Or you could change the value of a class attribute to trigger some new CSS rule for those particular elements. Or you could change the size or position of an image element. You can also specify a set of steps for a browser to follow, something like a recipe. This is going to allow it to access or change the content of a page. So you could create a gallery script which could check which image a user clicked on and display a larger version of that image in response. You could create a mortgage calculator that could collect values and display repayments. You could create an animation that could check the dimensions of the browser window and move an image to the bottom of the viewable area. JavaScript encompasses many of the traditional rules of programming. It can make the web page feel interactive by responding to what the user does. You can also use JavaScript to react to events. So you could specify that a script should run when a specific event has occurred. So, for example, it could run when a button is clicked, or a link is clicked, or your cursor hovers over an element, or information is added to a form field, or an interval of time has passed, or a web page has completed loading. There's all sorts of ways that you can incorporate JavaScript into your page. We'll look at a couple of examples next.